For all their talk about oppression, women sure are quick to give up their guns. How the hell are they expected to defend themselves against the evil white patriarchy? That is why a vote against guns is a vote against women. Can you smell the irony? This is a perfect shirt for protests, hell, for family reunions. Available only at invisiblehandfashion.com. Please use the promo code SpaceGhost for 10% off your first order. Link is in the description, bitches. Hello everybody, Terrence Popp here, Redonkulous.com, and today, Good Popp showed up because today is another life lesson. This one's going out to all you gentlemen out there who had your heart ripped out through your assholes. Bend over. And the worst part is, most of these dudes, you don't even see it coming. I didn't. Hell, I was picking up my socks. Boom, heart through the asshole. I didn't shit right for a month. And thinking back on it, I probably would have took the fiery death. I have a black dead heart for a reason. Back in the day, while I was on the blue pill placebo, I had a red healthy heart. You see, I have a condition, and no one really sees it coming, and there is no cure. And that condition is called reality. Once that sets in, you start taking the red pill, and the whole world is different. It doesn't mean that the world actually changed, because it doesn't. It's still the same fucked up place. But your perception has changed. Kinda like getting drunk. So everyone, please pour yourself a menagerie of alcohol and let us begin. Because we're gonna take a long, hot dive into a yeast-filled beef and cheddar in a catcher's mitt and talk about what it takes to get over the pussy.
I'm going in, Rambo style.
Yeah. Before we dive into the subject, I want to touch upon this fact. Men have 4 different types of mindsets. Top of the heap, you have the high-level thinkers. These are the dudes who can remain logical even when they're balls deep in crazy pussy. Even when the world is screaming with insanity, they can keep it at arm's length and look at everything objectively. This is the level as a dude that you need to strive for. The side effects are a black dead heart, an early morning craving for some sleepy sauce, and last but not least, EGS, which stands for Evil Genius Syndrome.
How is it you always think you're right?
I don't. I just find it hard to operate on the opposite assumption.
Now I know that doesn't apply to everyone, so we need to come down a notch and talk about the emotional thinkers. And this level here is fast becoming a majority amongst dudes of today. And I say dudes because these guys got their manhood at a shameful discount. In fact, some of them probably got it by default. Space Ghost. And why is this becoming so prevalent? Single mothers, need I say more? These soy boys, these cuck simps, these omega males. We have made so many videos about them. In fact, here they are, and we're gonna rank them from the least favorite down. Don't get mad at me. It is not my fault that your balls are now full of vaginal quim. Space Ghost.
Just in case I need them, where exactly will Dr. Foreman be keeping my balls?
There are only 2 things that type of manhood qualifies you for. 1, being a target by signing up for the draft, and 2, writing for BuzzFeed, Screen 5. When you're a 20-year-old dude and your testosterone level is lower than an 80-year-old man, you have got a world of problems. But you know what your biggest problem is? I and the rest of the world do not care. You can say I'm an asshole, but you can't say I'm greedy. Segue. And that brings us to the next tier down, greedy thinkers. This is pretty much where all women fucking fit and dudes raised by single mothers who think like women.
Mom.
Fine.
Disclaimer, I have to boil all of this down to grunt speak, because to be honest, that's exactly what I am. At least I admit it, but, and I know you guys love the buts. There is a fancier term for a greedy thinker, and we call them narcissists. Basically, these are the people who have to spin everything to their advantage. Every situation, every relationship boils down in their heads to a calculation. How do I make this benefit me? How do I profit from this person? But hey, at least I don't know anyone like that, right? Whore, ex-wife, space ghost. Any dude who's ever dated a crazy chick or a horse chick knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I made a video about that, here it is. But sadly, just like the emotional thinkers, this is becoming more and more common with dudes. And I'm guilty of this myself. But hey, that's one of the 2 consequences from getting the Black Dead Heart. And you lose your fucking wallet.
Drop your pants.
You know, I usually pay tens of dollars to hear that.
It sucks. You're gonna get your ass beat and drugged through the mud, but at the end of the day, you'll be a better man for it. A lot of these dudes, especially the emotional and greedy thinkers, once they've been train wrecked enough, they go, holy fuck, what am I doing wrong? Why am I picking these bitches? And boom, you just became a high-level thinker. But, you know what I'm saying, that usually kicks in after 34 when the big head finally overpowers the little head. Prior to that point, and I'm sad to say this, most of you guys below 34, you're pussy thinkers. You have blinders on. You're being buffeted with crazy every single day. And your response in your own mind is this: that pussy's so good.
Are you sure she doesn't want to just take you back to her lair or hang you upside down and deposit her eggs in you?
Now trust me, a lot of you young bucks out there are like, Pop, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. Give it 10 years and you'll be like, what was I thinking? Oh, that's right, I was pussy thinking. How many guys walk down the aisle like,
She's crazy. I'm gonna lock this pussy in forever.
no, you're not. The fucking you get is never worth the fucking that you're gonna get. I have been there. I'm not above this. I have made all these mistakes, especially when I was running from the Mexican with a bat. I know all of the older dudes out there are like, holy fuck, dude. It's about time somebody said this shit. This is the most ridiculous thing about the truth. We all see it. We all want to say something about it. We recognize how fucked up it is, and why we don't say anything? Political correctness. That is how fucked up our society has become, where truth cannot be spoken. You can't even speak the truth today. Otherwise, you'll be given some fucked up label. They do that to alienate you, marginalize you, and shut you up. And I almost forgot. They have to dehumanize you so when they run up on you and punch you in the face, they won't feel guilty. And don't you dare hit them back, otherwise you're proving their point. Sounds like a feminist to me, and I will lay you the fuck out. You want the equal rights? Well, the equal lefts come with them.
You sound stupid.
Fucking dirty, bitch.
You sound.
Damn.
You know me?
Oh.
You know me?
The bro next door encapsulates the life of Chad. He is the pinnacle, the legend. He can do no wrong. Women want him, and men want to be him. His memoir is as absurd as his attitude. A link is in the description.
Now that I've covered the 4 types of mindsets in males, now we're going to talk about how they get over the pussy. She breaks up with you. She divorces you. She rips your heart out through your asshole. The reason doesn't even fucking matter. Here is how you get over it. Tactic number 1, and this is for the emotional thinkers out there. You have to imagine your SIGO, SGO, which is significant other, banging somebody else. But there's more. Do not make the mistake of imagining her banging some alpha dude, because that's probably not going to happen. But hey, you're driving down the street and you see the homeless guy and his shoes are open and his beard is full of lice. That's what you should be thinking is going to hit that pussy. Imagine your ex getting plowed by that dude naked and thrusting. Oh, are you disgusted yet? Do you want to throw up? You see where I'm going with this, right? Here is the great thing about forming a mental image like that. Not only are you going to lose weight because you can't eat because you're nauseous, but you can also imagine she's going to get VD from that guy. Not only is she going to get the scotchy chingos, which are the lice down below, she's probably going to catch herself a case of herpagana syphilades. And guess what? Most of that stuff there is no cure for. And if you fuck with it again, you're going to wind up with a broken neck, shoulder, back, knee, screen 5.
Syphilis prevents domestic violence. I'm going to be even more attractive to the ladies.
And if this makes you feel a little bit better, congratulations, because you have just set up your own mental quarantine. And if you've done that, you're ready to move on to higher level thinking. Tactic number 3. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine what your life would be if you stayed with your ex. And don't you dare edit anything out. Don't you dare soften it with any fantasy, because you're a high level thinker now and you know where this is going. And you have to know that all relationships end for a reason, even if you don't know what that reason is at that time. Because even a high-level thinker will get emotional from time to time, especially during a bad breakup. Because we all know, there is one thing that clouds all high-level thinking, logic, and reason, and that is emotion, which kind of explains feminism, screen 5. Do not let that happen to you. Recognize the situation for what it was and follow it in your mind to its conclusion. Because if she was a crazy bitch that betrayed you, imagine all the knives in your back after 30 fucking years.
Why do you have to believe I have an ulterior motive?
For the same reason I believe a crack whore is going to have sex for crack.
Let's face it, if she's crazy and she clouded your mind with that great slot C, you probably have a lot of Eskimo brothers. Made a video about it, here it is. We've said this once, and we'll say it again. Crazy pussy is some of the best pussy out there. It's a complete rodeo by itself. And some of it is so good, it'll take a high-level thinker and plunge him down to a pussy thinker with one thrust. I know you're thinking, Popp, who are these crazy bitches? Well, I wouldn't know. It's not like I married one or anything. If I had been a high-level thinker at the time instead of a pussy thinker, I would have realized that she already failed the goddamn dick stacking test and she couldn't pair bond, and I would have left it on the fucking lot. No matter how much feminism pushes this myth upon you, and that's exactly what I told you, it's a myth. How many sexual partners a woman had in her life prior to you is completely relevant. You can call it a double standard. You can say I'm a sexist or a slut shamer. I don't fucking care. You're not the one with half your shit on the line because someone isn't happy, so fuck off. And that, by the way, is real privilege. Screen 5.
Yesterday's sluts are today's empowered women. Today's sluts are celebrities.
Because I have been that guy. I lost my wife by surprise. Kids, house, all my money. I lived in my car because I was homeless. You call the suicide hotline and you say, hey, I lost all my money.
Oh, you're at risk. We'll help you.
Or you call them and say, I lost my children.
Oh, you're at risk. We'll help you.
Or you say, hey, I lost my house.
Oh, you're at risk. We'll help you.
Now imagine having all of that at once.
Grams for women and maybe 1 for men. So
And that brings us to tactic number 5. Imagine taking your own life over this bitch. Imagine yourself with a noose around your neck, gun to your head, standing over a very high drop, and ask yourself, is this bitch worth it? Spoiler alert, and this is not a surprise, a big fat resounding no. No piece of pussy is worth throwing your life away, period. Not even if she's one of those kinky chicks that you bang her when she's on her period. Space Coast.
Another life saved by girl-on-girl action.
Some of you guys are like, Popp, that's gross, but hey, just take her in the shower. And if she's on the pill and her period, it's extra insurance and it all washes away. Now listen, you're banging a chick and the condom breaks, but she's on her period. And she goes, oh, that's unfortunate. Let's do it again. And you say, yeah, pussy thinker. With all that aside, this next question goes to gentlemen who have been broken up for a while. Hypothetically, you are in a serious relationship, but it's been 6 months to a year since the tragic breakup. When you think about her, does your stomach still drop? Do you get kind of sick when you think of her getting fucking plowed by the dude she left you for? I got some bad news. You're not over her yet. And my black dead heart, it goes out to you. And this shot, it's for you. But it's not all bad news, because I'm going to tell you the tricks to get past this part. We all love Pornhub. No, don't shake your head. We all love Pornhub. Go on there and type into the search bar, cream pie gangbang. And imagine that with your ex, with the line going around the block. Once you have tossed up every cookie you have ever eaten, filled the toilet and every garbage can in your house, you're gonna notice something. You're gonna feel better. Those videos on Pornhub, they're an exaggeration. They're set up in advance. But there's the kernel of truth in them. The dudes are not gonna be lined up around the block, but it's still an accurate prediction of her life moving forward. It's just a never-ending stream of dudes coming in, dumping their goo, adding to the stew, and moving on. And you know what? This is the best news I could possibly give you. You don't have to come home and find her spread eagle and have her hand you a straw. Every time you say that, I get a lump of vomit in my throat. Every time you say that, you fucking sick fucker. Oh my God. Good to the last drop. Screen 5. Oh, you evil bastard. And this is actually a good segue into the next tactic, number 7, is when you think of her, think of something you hate. I know what you're thinking.
Pop, what do you think about? What do you hate? And what do you associate with your ex?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes at night when I've had my liquid sleep and I'm about to doze off, and that microsecond I get nostalgic, I remember. She took away my kids and used the system to sub-6 me. When murderers kill somebody in our society, what do we do to them to punish them? We send them to prison and we take their time. My ex-whore, she robbed me of my children's childhood. She took all of that time away from me, and why?
I'm not happy.
And what did that get her? 70 pounds and $70,000 in credit card debt. Screen 5.
The slutty party girl is fun until she pukes on your shoes. And she's just a pain in the ass.
And she also taught me a very important lesson about redheads. Number 1, they're all goddamn crazy and they have no soul. 2, that makes them great in bed. But 3, they age off a cliff in dog years. They age like curdled milk. Nothing helps to get over the pussy better than this. Being outside the box, looking in and going, hey, that shit's a train wreck now, and I dodged a fucking bullet. You know what? I'm over it. When I think about it, my stomach doesn't drop. And when I think about her banging other dudes, I laugh because I feel sorry for those guys. Because all of that made me a high-level thinker, and I subscribed to tactic number 8. I seeked out a guy named Eckhart Tolle, and I listened to his shit, and I realized I was living in the pain mine, and I cut that shit out. The whole world is a train wreck. It's a goddamn junkyard of wrecked people who are living in the pain mine. They latch onto their victimhood and use it as an excuse to be horrid, wretched people. And after I said that, if you're thinking about libtards, you get extra credit. Space Ghost. When you have people today latching onto shit that happened 200 years ago and use that to be bigots today, there you go. But maybe that's just how my mind works, because I'm no longer down here, I'm here. And you don't even have to be a high-level thinker to engage in tactic number 9, you just have to be a greedy thinker. Because when you calculate the costs and the resources to keep these entitled bitches around, it's not worth it. We have done so many episodes of what it takes to keep these bitches happy, I can't even remember them all off the top of my head. What I do remember is you get ipulated. Manipulated, kind of like a slot machine. This slot machine, it doesn't spit quarters. Screen 5. But if you use a cup to catch it, that's just nasty.
Catch. What the? Oh, shit! Oh, God. Fuck, dude, that's somebody's kid. Well, it's not my fault, A-Rod. You were supposed to catch it.
And finally, we come to tactic number 10, and it's the most common one there is. And it's not just a pussy thinker tactic, it's a pussy tactic. Women are notorious for this.
You get over the last one by getting under the next one because she loves me.
Men and women do this in their 20s and early 30s. They get hurt in one relationship and the next day they're banging something else. That tactic is like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. That only works for a short time and then you're bleeding through the goddamn Band-Aid. The wound gets festered and the problems just magnify from there. Sooner or later, if you ignore that wound long enough, you're gonna lose a limb. Because lessons in your life will repeat until they are learned. In fact, I made a whole video about it called Life When You're Stupid. Check it out. If you get yourself into a massive shit with a chick over here, and you think you're gonna solve this by doing the same thing with another woman, got news for you. It's not gonna work. People have a type that's attracted to them, and they're attracted back for a reason. You are either doing it purposely or unconsciously, but you're putting vibes out into the universe that is what you want. So all you ladies out there who say, every guy I date is a jerk, or we're all the good men, it's your fault. And dudes, the same thing applies to you. You keep banging crazy, and I know it's fun, but you think you're gonna find a unicorn, and you're not. Especially after the age of 34, because all those unicorns, they become rhinos because they let themselves go at Walmart. And you wanna know how you break that pattern? And there's really only one way to do it. And you red pill MGTOW guys out there, you know what I'm about to say. When you know the game is rigged against you, the only way to win is just not to play.
Mind if I come in?
Not at all. You mind if I leave?
So here we are, welcome to my therapy. No relationships for 6.5 years. I did not say no pussy. I hope and pray you aren't as far gone as I was, because I'm gonna tell you what, that was some shit. You wanna know how I got there? I was dick thinking, and my dick painted me into a corner. Oh, come on. And you know what? Your dick knows this, even if you don't. Because one day, you're gonna be sitting with a new chick. Maybe it's a hot redhead with big missile tits. And your man downstairs gonna be slumped down going, "Oh, there, dude.
I'm tapping out, bro. You're supposed to be providing cover for your men in the front lines. You're not doing it. I'm done.
That is nature telling you have fucked up, or shit is taking its course and you need some vitamin V, and I made a video about it, check it out. But before you start dumping all your money into boner pills, which work by the way, check out our links below, Patreon, PayPal, and Maker support. Send us a couple bucks, cause this shit is expensive.
You take boner pills?
You gotta combat the whiskey dick, what can I say?
If I get any more drunk, it might not work.
And for those of you who do watch this show on a regular basis, you've probably noticed that a large amount of our videos have become demonetized. Hell, even a couple were removed. So when you do pledge 25 cents to $1 on Patreon or $5 on PayPal, your support keeps us going. So from the bottom of my black, dead, soulless heart and my empty glass here, thank you. And for those of you who are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when we make new videos. And if you don't, I'm gonna find your email and I'm gonna send you a bunch of links to cream pie gangbang videos. Oh, I was in the bar once, 21. I broke up with this one chick because she was fucking crazy. I'm sitting at the bar with a beer. I'm facing the bartender. Her friend walks up, spins me, knees me in the balls, and I just go instinctively.
Oh, yeah.
The bouncer standing right there. And he's like, "Oh, it's a fucking party foul. She's out of here."
Yes.
I was just like, oh, and all the dudes in the bar were like, all right.